never believed in ghosts until I stepped into the house on Blackwood Hill. It was an abandoned Victorian mansion that stood like a shadow at the edge of the forest. Windows shattered, roof caving in, and ivy crawling up its broken walls like veins on a corpse. People in town whispered that no one who stayed there past midnight ever came out the same. Some never came out at all. I didn't believe them. I thought it was just another story made to scare kids. But last winter, when curiosity gnawed at me like an itch I couldn't scratch, I decided to go inside. The moment I crossed the broken gate, I felt it. Something heavy pressing against my chest, making it hard to breathe. The air was colder here, even though snow hadn't fallen yet. My flashlight flickered the second I stepped onto the porch, and I heard the faintest sound, like footsteps upstairs. I told myself it was the wind. The door creaked open by itself. Inside, the house smelled of mold and rot. The wallpaper peeled away in strips. The staircase leaned as though it might collapse at any moment, and the chandelier above swayed, though there was no breeze. And then I saw it, writing on the wall in dark, smeared letters. "Get out before you see her." My breath caught in my throat. Who was her? I thought about leaving right then, but something stronger pulled me deeper inside. Room by room, I searched with my flashlight. A broken piano in the parlor with keys that pressed down by themselves. A dining table still set with rotting plates and cracked glasses, as if the family who once lived here had left mid-meal and never returned. The deeper I went, the more the air felt thick, like the house itself was alive and breathing. When I reached the stairs, I froze. At the very top stood a woman. She wore a black gown that looked burned around the edges. Her hair tangled and wet, as if she had drowned, but it was her face that froze me in place. Her skin pale as ash, eyes hollow and dark, and her mouth stretched into a smile far too wide to be human. I blinked, and she was gone. But the sound of footsteps came again, slow, heavy, coming down the stairs. I ran into the nearest room, slamming the door shut, my heart pounding. My flashlight shook in my hand, the beam darting across the room until it landed on something that made my blood turn cold. A mirror, and in it, behind me, stood the woman. Her smile grew wider, her head tilting as though her neck was broken, and her lips moved, though no sound came out. Then, in a voice that wasn't mine, my reflection whispered, "Stay with me." The mirror shattered on its own, spraying shards across the floor. In every shard, her face was still smiling at me. I screamed and bolted out the door, but the hallway wasn't the same anymore. The house had changed. Doors had shifted. The staircase no longer led down, but curled into darkness. The windows showed not the night sky, but endless black. I was trapped, somewhere in the dark halls. I heard her, dragging footsteps, followed by the sound of wet breathing closer and closer. I found another staircase running down, thinking it would lead me to the exit, but it didn't. Instead, I found myself in the basement. The stench hit me first, rotting flesh. The floor was damp, covered in something sticky, and there, against the walls, dozens of broken mirrors leaned in piles, each reflecting me. But in every one, I wasn't alone. She stood behind me in every reflection, smiling, whispering words I couldn't understand. I stumbled backward, tripping over something soft. My light revealed what it was. Bodies. Not fresh, but not gone either. Faces twisted in terror, skin pale, eyes open wide, dozens of them, all staring at the ceiling. And then I realized these were the people who never came back out. The air shifted, my flashlight dimmed, and then I heard her whisper right in my ear, "You're one of us now." The light went out. When I opened my eyes again, I was standing in the parlor. The piano played a slow, broken tune. The chandelier swayed. The dining table was set. And in the mirror hanging above the fireplace, I saw myself. Only it wasn't me anymore. My eyes were hollow, my skin pale, and my mouth stretched into a smile that didn't belong to me. The house had taken me. And now, when people wander too close to Blackwood Hill, I'm the one they see in the window, smiling, waiting, because the house is always hungry, and it never lets you leave.